Another piece, in my opinion, around what makes someone unsafe are poor boundaries. So, what this can look like is overly rigid boundaries. This is, if you almost imagine like a house with a concrete wall around it, that is an example or an analogy, I guess, if you will, around a boundary system that is too rigid. But this concrete wall where I cannot see my neighbor's yard and, I don't really let other people in. And the reason this feels unsafe to us is because we as humans, circling back to this idea that we are messy, we tend to value vulnerability in other people. And I think the reason this is the case is because it allows us to be vulnerable. And it allows us to be transparent and authentic with our struggles. And so if I can never see what's happening with my neighbor, so to speak, then that feels kind of like a red flag. And it can feel like, oh gosh, I don't want to disclose my struggles if you're unwilling to disclose yours. So that's that rigid boundary system. Another way to think of it is inflexible boundaries. And then on the flip side of that, we've got porous boundaries. So the ideal scenario here is the white picket fence in air quotations, and then no fence at all would kind of be that idea of porous boundaries. So this concept that I don't really know where my property ends and yours begins, and it can feel unsure or uncertain, and that's no good either because we are designed to live with appropriate boundaries as human beings, and it's healthy to recognize where I end and the other person begins.